gets connected here. The whole purpose of this live is I want to give chance to anybody that watches this video to ask me questions. And the subject is illegal immigrants, children born in the United States, but the parents are illegal. I'll sit here and eat my lunch and see if you guys actually connect and ask the question. Come and have lunch with me. Hey, King, how are you? So I'm having my lunch at work, and I wanted to see if anybody wanted to ask questions about illegal immigration and illegal parents having children here in America. What will be the one question to ask? What's up, Colton? Hi, Ariane. What questions do you guys have about illegal immigrants and anchor babies? Nobody cares about illegal immigration? Oh, man. We're in trouble in America. If nobody cares about illegal immigration, we're in trouble. You know, when Obama was president, I was living in California, and Obama promised when he was running for office, he promised that he was going to do immigration reform for Hispanics, specifically for Hispanics. And everybody got excited in California. And you know what happened? It never happened. He deported 3 million illegal immigrants from the United States. Now, while I still think that that's okay because they're here illegally, the fact that he promised that a lot of the people, like for example, you guys may not know, but in Central America, the country where I come from, Honduras, they had hurricane season, and they came over here seeking asylum. Well, those people were supposed to get papers, and they never did. So what's going on right now in California is one of the things. If you guys ever watch my shorts, one of the things that I disagree with anchor babies is illegal people that come to the country. They already don't respect the United States of America. Can you guys hear okay? Thank you, Des. People that come to this country that don't love America, that don't respect the people, if they're illegal and they make children over here in the States, those children will not be patriotic to the United States. They will be patriotic to their parents' nationality. A lot of people disagree with if you're born in the States to illegal parents, those kids are not American. What people don't understand, American people specifically that are born here, only a naturalized American citizen understands this. And I mentioned some of this stuff in some of my videos before. It's when I became an American citizen, any child that I would have made in Honduras, even though they were not born in the United States, they automatically became citizens because I'm the father and I live in the United States. And by that logic, what the Constitution says that all persons that are born in this country, it is assuming that they're citizens, that are they're being born of citizen parents. Remember, this is back in time before slavery was just finished and all this other stuff. And so there was already people here in the States that were not considered citizens. But once everybody became citizens, that's what all persons are, includes whites, blacks, Hispanics, Indians, etc. So some people don't see it that way, but because I became an American and I made my oath and I understood all these different facts that I didn't know before, this is why I'm against anchor babies. Because the nationality of the child should be where the parents are. Unless somebody abandoned a child and, or the mother died and they are born in the United States, I think there's some exceptions. Do you guys have any question? Any other questions? And thank you for joining in my lunch. I still got to do a 9 to 5 job. You know what I mean? I want to hear some input because even though a lot of people are very positive, I do get the negative comment here and there. I agree. That is correct. So we do need immigration. Immigration is great. Absolutely, 100%. We need lots of immigrants, but we need them to be here legally. They have to follow the process. If they don't want to follow the process, they're not going to abide by our laws. They're not going to be, if they ever become American citizens, they will never be patriots. Now, there's a lot of Hispanics that have become Americans, and they are more patriotic than Americans that are born here because they don't know the hardship of the foreign land. They're just entitled and they're just spoiled. And I mean, this is what we want. We don't want them to suffer. We don't want them to go through what we have to go through when we grow up. But the fact is, patriotism, civics, respect to our country, love for our flag, for our people, is not being taught in schools. And so when you have a lot of illegal immigrants, even in small numbers is not bad, but mass migration like we've had, well, look at California, and It'll prove all the answers that I give you. One of them, illegal immigrants having babies in America, anchor babies as they call them, they are not going to raise them to be patriotic to the United States. You want proof? Look what happened in California. They burned the American flag, they spit on it, they disrespect the American authority, the police department, the National Guard. They have a piñata of Donald Trump, they beat it up. That's our president. And these people, they're not patriotic at all. Even the Americans that are born here, obviously, the Democratic Party, they don't like President Trump. And they think that everything he does is because he's Trump, the racist guy. But that's not true. He's doing what an American patriot is supposed to do. And the Democratic Party is doing the opposite. Well, Democratic Party is finished. Let's be honest. They're just a bunch of communists now, Marxist, socialists, as I mentioned in some of my videos. Any other questions about immigration? Immigration is great. Mass migration is no good. I know people got things to do. They'll come in, chime in, come in and go. That's fine. But if you have any questions, concerns about illegal immigration and naturalized or children of illegal parents being born here in the United States, what's your thoughts? What questions do you have? My life is limited because I'm on my lunch hour at work. So if you have questions, ask me. I want to hear your questions. And I love Trump because I'm eating McDonald's. I don't really like to, but I have no choice. If you don't get a chance to talk to me right now on lunch, I'll probably do a live when I get home and see if anybody else connects to ask questions. And if you watch this video, sorry, it might be boring, but if you watch it, I believe you will still be able to make your comments in the history there. And when I see it, I will try to respond to it as best as I can. Okay. I know I got like 48 to 50 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. I want Washington State to be great again. Everybody's probably busy watching all the riots from California all weekend. No sleep. I spent all weekend just researching and trying to get information to share with you guys. But man, 16, 18 hours, believe it or not. Ariane, I'm sorry I didn't see that before. The how many people were sick on Ellis Island? I think that's the place where they do the immigration checkups. I think, right? But just so you know, before before I was able to come to this country many decades ago, we had to get a physical done, a health examination done, and if those records didn't show that I was healthy or physically able to come here, besides proving that there's a way for us to support ourselves here in the country, um, you wouldn't be allowed in this country. So a lot of people get rejected. One, for finances, that they won't be able to, you know, provide for all the needs that they need over here in the states. And the number two, they're not healthy, and they have some type of physical or health or mental impediment, which doesn't allow them to come to the states. So, that's stuff that they do. But when you have illegal immigrants coming in here, especially in mass migration of illegal immigrants, you have a possibility of having millions and millions of illegal people in here with diseases that we have kept under control for many decades. But because this is happening, we don't know anymore. We already know about the Wuhan lab, right? The Chinese virus. I mean, all those things. If we don't vet people, if we don't check who's coming into our country, any disease can come in through. TSA and some of the people at the airports, they're doing such a tremendous job, catching people, bringing organisms and things that can destroy our crops, right? Animals that we shouldn't have over here. And I think that makes one of the differences in our country is that we stand for that. We want legal immigration, not illegal, legal. Well, I think I'm done with my lunch. Thank God my boss is pretty flexible. So, all right, I won't be able to read any more comments. I'm gonna disconnect here in a couple of minutes. Guys, before I say goodbye, I want to say thank you for putting a comment down here on the live so that I can talk with you. Thank you for joining me on my lunch. Appreciate it. And we'll see if we can make another live here pretty soon. Guys, till next time. Peace. Y'all be blessed.